Good morning. In this class, we will discuss about common rail direct injection diesel engine. So it is a small topic which comes under the subject Advanced IC Engines, Unit 5. So what is common rail direct injection diesel engine? So it is shortly called as CRDI. Now, in this PPT, we will discuss about the introduction to CRDI. Then we will discuss about the construction of the CRDI. Then we will discuss about the working of CRDI with the advantages. Okay. Lastly, we will have the assignment. Now, entering to CRDI, common rail direct injection diesel engine. So, in today's technology, in any cars, lorries, and buses, we use only common rail direct injection method. So, what is it? What is common rail direct injection method? So, in any engine, we have cylinders. So, in any engine, if we have a cylinder, we have an injector. Okay. In this injector, we supply fuel. So, what is fuel? Fuel is here we have diesel. So, we supply fuel, that is diesel, through the injector to the cylinder. Okay. So, for this supply of fuel to the injector, from the injector to the cylinder, we have to supply fuel to the injector. So, from the fuel tank, we pump the fuel and we take to the injectors. So, in case of CRDI, there will be a common pipe or a common line which supplies fuel for all the injectors. Suppose, for example, we have 4 injectors. This common line supplies fuel to the 4 injectors, okay, through a common line. So, line will be common through which the fuel will be supplied. So, CRDI, first line you will have the definition of CRDI. CRDI stands for common rail direct injection. It is the direct injection of the fuel into the cylinders of a diesel engine via single common line. So due to this single common line name, it is called as common rail. Okay. We will have some of the major plus points of the CRDI. First is flexibility is high. Second is power is very high. Third is emission is controlled. And fourth is fuel consumption is less. Okay. So all these modern days in every cars you can see CRDI. In every buses you can see CRDI. In every lorries you can see CRDI. So why it is called as CRDI? Because of its common line. So again I will repeat you, the fuel is supplied to the engine through a common line. So you have an injector and you have a cylinder. From injector, fuel is supplied to the cylinder. From the fuel tank, fuel is supplied to the injector through a common line. So this common line plays a vital role. Okay. Then we will have the next slide. construction of CRDI. Here in the slide you can see there are said to be 7 parts of CRDI. First is ECU. It is engine control unit. Second is various sensors. Third is actuators. Here in CRDA, actuators is fuel injectors. Fourth is fuel tank. Fifth is gear pump. Sixth is common rail. In bracket I have given as thick pipe. Seventh is injector in cylinders. Okay. So these are the 7 important parts which plays a vital role in CRDA. And these 7 parts we will see in next diagram. So this is the diagram of common rail diesel fuel injection system. So as my cursor moves, you can see the parts and you can understand the parts. First, I have kept my cursor here. This is called as ECU, engine control unit. Okay. This ECU, engine control unit, you can see at one corner there is a line which is going, and this line connects to various sensors A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and these are the various sensor, and namely it is given here. A is crankshaft speed position sensor, B is camshaft speed position sensor, C is brake sensor, acceleration pedal brake sensor or vehicle speed sensor, D is boost temperature sensor, E is air temperature sensor, F is coolant temperature sensor, G is oil temperature sensor. So you have all the sensor at one connection to the ECU. So what is ECU? Engine control unit. See, this ECU, engine control unit, it has an inbuilt software. Okay, it has an inbuilt software. So this ECU receives the signal from the sensor, namely A to G. All the sensor gives various signal to the ECU, and it receives signals from the sensor, and from this sensor this signal has been transmitted to the actuator. So here the actuator means the injectors. You can see here, this is first injector, this is second injector, this is third injector, this is fourth injector. So you can see here, this through this injector the fuel is being sprayed. You can see here, you can see here, you can see here, this fuel is being sprayed. So the sensor gives signals to engine control unit, which has an inbuilt software. This gives signals to the actuators. The actuators is nothing but the injectors. Okay. Now, this is a part of construction of the CRDI. You come here. So you will have the fuel tank here. Fuel tank, here fuel is diesel. Okay. So you will have the line from the fuel tank going to the one corner of high pressure pump. Here this high pressure pump is a gear pump. Okay, so fuel is transmitted from one corner of the fuel tank to the gear pump. So this is of low pressure, so fuel goes at low pressure, so it is indicated by the red line which yellow dots. So fuel is transmitted to the gear pump, it is of low pressure. You can see my cursor, it is of low pressure. And another thing, there's a gear pump. What is the working of gear pump? It converts low pressure fuel to high pressure fuel. So this low pressure fuel is converted into high pressure fuel, and this high pressure fuel is getting away. It has been transmitted to the common rail using another opening. Okay, so I will repeat. From the fuel tank, using electric fuel pump, the fuel is being transmitted to the pump, gear pump, where first when it enters it goes at low pressure. When it goes out, it goes at high pressure. So high pressure fuel enters to the common rail connection. So it is a common rail. Why it is a common rail? Using the same pipe, all the fuel is supplied to the injector. So this is a pipe which supplies fuel to injector 1, to the injector 2, to the injector 3, to the injector 4. Okay. Now suppose for example I will say you, if the pressure is exceeding more, what happens? So more than the estimated pressure, if the pressure is there inside this common rail, then the excess fuel will be again retrieved to the fuel tank. So what happens if the pressure is so high? You can see at one connection pressure limiter valve. So using this opening, the fuel will be distributed again. It goes through this line. It comes down to the fuel tank. Okay. So first fuel is supplied at low pressure to the gear pump. It is applied to the high pressure to the from the gear pump to the common rail. If suppose for example if the pressure is very high, the pressure limiter valve does the action and it is retrieved to the fuel tank. Okay. So this is the left part of the construction of the CRTI. So we have seen all the parts here. This is about the construction. Next, we will move to the working of CRDI. Okay. So working is very simple. And for this working, if you want to understand, you will have to study detailed version of this injector. So you have to discuss about this injector in a separate way. Okay. Now I will go to the working slide. So I have given you some of the points which is important. See, first point, common rail is in mounted on engine block. This you know it, and the pressure of the fuel is 1,800 bar to 2,000 bar. What is that? Is the pressure of the fuel, common rail pressure. No, this fuel will be 1,800 to 2,000. So some of the vehicles, according to the company, the pressure is increased to 2,500 bar. So that is a different thing. Now, generally, we will have the pressure is 1,800 to 2,000 bar. Okay. Next, injectors are activated by solenoid valves by ECU. This injector contains needle which is C-type valve to control fuel flow. Fuel pressure is fed into both top and bottom of needle valve. So this is about the working. So this last 4 points is working. So we will discuss about this in diagram. See, this is a diagram. This is an injector. In above diagram, in previous diagram, we have an injector here, 4 injectors. If we separately zoom and see this injector, we will arrive at this slide. Okay. So understand this is the basic principle. See, this is an injector. So first I will explain the parts of injectors. So injectors, firstly you can see here, here there is an opening, here there is an opening, here there is an opening. So you can see here the high pressure fuel is entering. High pressure fuel is entering. So here you can see this high pressure fuel is entering through this opening. Okay, through this opening, high pressure fuel is entering. So it enters. So you can see this area is zoomed here. This area is zoomed here. So when this high pressure fuel is entering, it goes both to the top bottom as well as to the top. The high pressure fuel goes to the top as well as bottom. Okay, so this is also of high pressure. Bottom fuel is also of high pressure. So when this both actions are done, there is a needle you can see, injector needle. Okay, and above this needle you will have an injector piston. Piston action is from top to bottom it goes, bottom to top it goes. We will have a solenoid valve here. Here we have a solenoid valve. You will have fuel leak back return port. This port connection is directly, it goes to fuel tank. It directly goes to fuel tank. Okay. Now we will see the working. So first fuel enters, high pressure fuel enters, it goes to bottom as well as it goes to top. So what happens when it goes to top? Due to this high pressure, this injector needle will be seated at the opening so that the fuel cannot go out. Okay. So fuel will be stuck here. It cannot go out. So during the working of the system, what happens? The current is supplied. When the current is supplied, the solenoid gets energized. When the current is supplied, the solenoid gets energized. You can see the zoom diagram here. When the solenoid gets energized, the injector valve, which is here, this injector valve, it opens. Okay, when the current is supplied, solenoid energized. When the solenoid is energized, the injector valve gets open. Automatically, it gets open. So what happens when it gets open? There is a high pressure fuel here. So automatically when the injector valve opens, the high pressure fuel is relieved. Okay. So the high pressure fuel is relieved. So it goes through this opening of fuel leak back port and it goes to the fuel tank. So fuel here when enters, it stays here. When the solenoid is energized, the valve opens, fuel goes automatically through this fuel back port to the fuel tank. So what happens when the fuel goes outside like this? Here the pressure will be low because high pressure comes here, it goes out. So the pressure is low. Automatically when the pressure is low here and when the pressure is high here, the piston moves upwards. When the piston moves upwards, fuel goes out. So fuel is injected to the cylinder. So this is the working is basically 5 lines, maximum of 5 points. That's all. So what are these points? I will explain you clearly again. Current is supplied, solenoid valve is energized. When the solenoid valve is energized, the injector valve is opened. When the injector valve opens, high pressure fuel goes back to the fuel tank. So there will be a low pressure which is there and this needle will goes above the fuel is injected to the cylinder. So you can see again, see the schematic diagram. You can see the fuel through this return valve, it is directed to the fuel tank. So fuel is injected. So there will be a cylinder at the bottom. It is not shown here. So inside the cylinder the fuel is entered. Okay, this is the working of CRDI. So we will have a glimpse of CRDI. CRDI is a common rail direct diesel fuel injection system and it has 7 parts which plays a vital role: sensors, actuator, ECU, fuel tank, air pump, thick pipe which is called as common rail, injectors. So working is very simple. What is the pressure? 1800 to 2000 bar. So when the current is passed, solenoid is energized, fuel returns to the fuel tank, pressure will be low there, so the piston moves up, fuel is injected. So this is the working of common rail diesel fuel systems. Okay, now we will discuss about the advantages. What are the advantages here is, firstly, fuel consumption is low. Comparatively any vehicle, we first see what is the mileage. So mileage is high in case of CRDI. Third is it reduce noise and pollution. Fifth is Fourth is power is more. Okay, these are the major advantages of CRDI. Then Lastly, we will have an assignment. So I request you to draw CRDI diagram, and I have explained you what is what. So you please understand and write in simple words the working principle. Okay. So this is your assignment. Thank you.